Welcome to Tim's Leetcode Challenge. This question is called Shift 2D Grid. Given a 2D grid of size m times n and an integer k, you need to shift the grid k times. Now, what does that mean? Shift means we're going to take the element at grid I, j, and move it to grid I, j plus 1. Now, if the element is at the very edge or at the very right side of one row, then we want to move it to the very beginning of the next row. And if it's at the very end of the last row and last column, that's going to move all the way up to the beginning here. So if we had a 2D grid like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and shift it one time, 9 is going to move up all the way up to here, and it's going to now look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I don't think I really need to explain it more than that. If we shift it 4 times, you can see how it shifts 4 times here, and we're going to return that. But that's kind of a trick there. We definitely don't want to shift it multiple times. We just want to shift it one time, 4 times, right? So certainly the easiest way to conceptualize this is to flatten this 2D array into a 1D array. Not actually do it, but just imagine it that way, because if we could do that, then all we need to do is kind of write an algorithm as if this was a single 1D array and shift everything k times, make sure everything wraps around to the proper point at which it needs to belong, right? If we want to calculate the proper row and column, all we need to do is get the index number starting at the beginning, and we'll assume like each one of these is 1, 2, like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down, and we can divide it by the number of columns to get the row, and then do a modular number of columns to find which column it belongs in that row. And if we do that, then everything else should come pretty easily. So let's initialize a couple of variables here. We'll do the m and n, which is going to be the length of the grid as well as the length of the grid 0. So this is rows and columns, right? Now I'm going to also do a capital N here, and this is going to be the actual number of cells, and that's just going to be m times n. So the easiest way to do this is just to initialize another m times n grid. I'm just going to make these all zeros at first and say, okay, 0 times the number of columns, that's going to be n, and say for blank in range of m, right? So all that remains then is say, okay, for I, this is the index number, as if this was a flat 1D array in range of capital N. Let's calculate what should be the new index number. And that would be what? J would equal I plus k, right? And we're going to make sure to wrap around, and we'll do modular n in case we need to wrap around. Now all that remains then is let's put in our new output here. What should this be? Let me make sure I got this right. This should be, I suppose this should be j divided by n, and the column would be j modular. Make sure that we get lowercase n there, and this would be what? Get the original grid, and we'll calculate I divided by n, and I modular n. Finally, we can just return our output, and this would be it. This should be it. Let's make sure this works. Looks like that's working. And there we go. So this is the optimal solution unless you want to do this in place, because this is a m times n time complexity, but it also takes m times n space, right? Because we're creating this 2D array here. So if to do it in place, it's a little bit more complicated. Well, like let's just imagine if we had some flat array here and we want to shift it, I don't know, 2 times, right? We'll say 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, how do we do that? Well, it's kind of hard, right? There's not really a two-pointer approach. Like, the way we would have to kind of do it is to store that information somewhere temporarily. So what we'd have to do is probably start at the very beginning. We'll empty it out and store that somewhere in some temporary variable. We'll say 1. Now we'll move to where it belongs. We'll say here, store this somewhere temporarily. We'll say take that 3 and replace it with our current. Now we move 2 ahead again. Now we take our 3 here, and we remember our 5, and now we move all the way up to all here. This will be 5. But unfortunately, we haven't done everything, right? So to kind of take care of that, you have to shift it once and make sure that we're going to take care of every single element here. So we shift it 1 right here. Now we'll take 2. This will be blank 2 here. And we'll move here. This will be 2. We'll first store 4. Take that 2. Now we'll store 6. Replace that with 4. And finally, right here, this will be 2. Oh, sorry, 6. Yeah, so if this was a 1D array, that's how we would do it. But we can just assume that's a 1D array because we can calculate it right here pretty easily. Okay, so how do you do this? Well, let's create a counter. Okay, we're gonna get rid of this output here because we're gonna do this in place, right? So let's get a count, okay, and we'll also get the I initializing at 0 here. And instead of doing a for I, we're gonna do, let's say, while count is less than n. Okay, count will go up whenever whenever we do a shift here. So let's see. Let's store the current value somewhere, and we'll also store the new index number, j. That's going to be, let's see, grid. This will be I divided by n, I modular n. And the j would be I plus k, wrap around capital N, right? So while true, we're going to try to go all the way around up until if I, let's see, I equals j, let's say j equals I, then we're going to break here, okay? Also make sure each time we're going to increase our count by 1, and we're going to be doing this shift thing. So we'll take our current and we'll take our grid. This will be, we have to calculate the j and j modular n like this, and we're going to do a swap, right? We're going to take our shift, something like that. So we're going to be swapping that each time, and we got to increase our j as well. But make sure I guess we do it after we break here. So j equals plus equals what? No, that's not right. It's going to equal j plus k wrap around to n, right? Finally, if we break out of here and we find that the count is still less than n, then we're going to increase our I. We'll go by 1 so we can shift it, and then we'll calculate the next elements, right? Fine, we can just turn our grid here like this. Okay, so let's make sure this works. Okay, great. I think that's working. So there you go. That's also going to be m times n time complexity, but it uses constant space. But you can see it's a little bit more complicated, but it's really not that bad. It just looks a little ugly and hard to understand. But once you understand like the first approach, I think this approach is actually not that hard. Okay, thanks for watching my channel. Remember, do not trust me. I know nothing.